Okay, so guys. Today's date. Today is it's recording. Yes. Today's date is the 22nd of January 2026. It's not the time now is 11 no 11:12 p.m. Okay, let's continue. So, okay, this is the update on. So I made my video on OBIEI. So you go to my TikTok.com /OK O for Oscar, K for Kilo, P for Papa, E for Alpha, L for Lima, E for Alpha, N for November. 86. You are literally downloading. You need to get Mmuko 86. Because you can test my first. This was first time, but all the videos are there. You don't go to the other one, which is OBNXS. But I go to now because I look myself on my account and I can't go to my email obnxs@twitter.com. I can't. Okay, I have to do that after the vote, but my meeting is tomorrow. My meeting is tomorrow. So my meeting is at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. So we have to do this properly now. So now we're voting about. So drum roll please. But this video is on symbolic interpreters. Symbolic interpreters. So symbolic interpreters. So we are going to talk about symbolic interpreters. So you get the pointer problem of rift. So breathing and living. What is breathing? The problem is the 3 pointers in that system, breathing, living, and working. But there's one shadow point now. So one shadow point. You don't see shadow points you never see. You project off of. If you're alive, if you can breathe and if you work, so the shadow of breathing and living is just working. I don't want to work, guys. So the shadow pointer is shallow. Yes, the shadow planet is working. You don't want to be working. The shadow should not be working. You should be bleeding blood, sweat, and tear. You should be living and breathing. So as a priority. So it's basically if if this cup can have a shadow on the ground, but it's not active. So it's kind of problem. What am I doing? Am I working? Am I not actually want to do the work? No, I'm not going to be doing work. My shadow should be doing work. I should have a new labor. Because this can cast a shadow, and that's what it can be. Over time, series can be a space of time, can have a work been doing work over time. S squared plus y squared equals R squared. But literally, the shadow is not important. It's not a human being, so it is not suffering. It is not suffering. But that's kind of the next stage of it. So I'm introducing the symbolic interpreter engine. It's not an engine; it's just symbolic interpreter. So basically, what is it? So you got like words like love, hate, all those things have to be interpreted. I don't like that until you can give a definition of it. So the system must be able to expand the system. So the AI must. So you can't. So the problem is, you can say it to any AI, "I love you." But what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything to the AI. People just overlooking the problem of AI. So we are basically symbolic interpreters work like this. So a statement, what is a statement? A statement is either true or false. True or false in the dimension. But yours is the man one. So in 3 dimensions of two zones. But yes or no, maybe. And then you get the 3 axis pointers, three systems. We have a yes or no, but with dimension, we have something we cannot work on. So you can work on something, I can work on something on the computer science. But we have so there's something you cannot work on. So the shadow must be reserved, and there must be a shadow that must be casted that we don't ever touch. That's ourselves being self. It doesn't matter who you are. The shadow is you, breathing, living, and working without you doing anything existing. That shadow is basically you working. Don't do anything. Or the always best way to say. But it depends what you want to do. Breathing, living. So the sensible important simple to work on this. So if you go, so the work is symbolic is statement, symbolic expression, and symbolic intent. So when you work into your Mmuko is M for Mike, U for umbrella, K for kilo, O for Oscar. And the first thing you want to do is order food. You can do that. You just to invoke a symbolic interpreter script, which is not an AI script. Basically, the symbol it's like they understand symbols, and those symbols are these are just symbols like glyphs, or and they give a meaning like CBD glyphs, and this you can type in any language you want, and that language will give you interpretation of that system. I need food now. Yeah, I need food here and now, and the system will give you food now. If you guys, if you can get food from my computer, what should I just give food? I'll let you guys do that. Because ordering is too much sometimes. Because so this one is it. So if you robot system can project food onto your plate, I will let you do that, guys. A burger or something like that, I'll let you do that. I'll let you eat this food inside. So similarly, also work as symbolic statement, expression, and intent. Via the principle, which is the 2 pointers problem. So the 2 pointers. So it sustains you. It's a sustainable system. It is not an AI system. It's not, but it can use to deliver AI artifacts. So basically, the problem with AI is the data silo, and in terms of, and so I'm introducing a pointer system for data silos. But the data silos, let's give you a meaning for the kind of terms we use as human beings, like love, hate. That's what symbols mean, love, hate, oxymoron. The things we call language techniques, alliteration, alliteration, if first techniques, facts. I'm sorry, no, if first is basically basically things that are unstructured data to the computer's symbols. Anything that can be drawn or woven and looks beautiful and looks nice to us that the computer cannot understand. That's what we're trying to understand before we can get the computer to do something for us on accident or objective. So this is my image now. So a symbol is literally a glyph. The only difference is between a symbol and a glyph. And a glyph has engrave. You can engrave a glyph. You can mark it somewhere. You can chisel it into some wood or something. That's what glyphs do. You can mark it into some kind of medium in the real world. Or it has texture. A glyph has texture. It has texture, but a symbol does not. It doesn't need to. That's the difference between the symbol and the glyph. So in the film, so say it's not about this food or not. So when you're hungry, guys, you don't want to be seeing stuff. You just want the food. So the symbol is it's like an AI component. So if you remove that component from the AI, you stop introducing you start going to loops and saying you get to kind of dilemmas and saying of reasoning. So dilemmas are just like a philosophical reasoning problems. So the system must resolve ontological issues of phenomenological concepts too, because those are other people's problems too. Based on how we've gone before. Okay. So if you think of the symbol intent as just files, like a library files, shared object libraries, or like a library files that you upload and download, an AI system like ontological Bayesian intelligence infrastructure can use those symbols to address real world. So the goal is the AI, but the symbol and artifact is loaded by any runtime dynamically and can be expressed real world. So basically, the data, the work on data science. The data science show that the data is preserved, can be loaded when it's needed. And that's one. The data science takes too much space. So the data must be there when it's needed. So you get like a vector database, you got like a type of database, but the data, this is like a isolated data artifact from a database. That so you can load and crash it. Basically, it's like a pickled binary that is universal. If you go to my guest on github.com/obs guest page/guest, you find a lot of guests there, and those guests will literally be a lot of this kind of project or symbolic expression. So you get symbolic models, which are symbolic expression, symbolic statement, symbolic expression, which are the way the system is partially modeled and actively done, and the intent, how it's meant to be used. Food, water, and shelter. It's basically meant to make sure you're fed before you can use the computer. It's basically a system all providing human rights. It's meant to work for you to say to do something. It's not a broken system. It's basically meant to you to assure. So basically, this is my priority before AI because the data setup problem is very big. I don't have a big database, so I made kind of symbolic system. If you have the pointer problem, if you want to, if I'm breathing, I'm talking, I'm still breathing. I should be breathing. I should be thinking about breathing. I should be processing my breathing normally. I should be talking. So that's the problem. That's the problem much. Because I am breathing air and speaking. I'm inhaling easily, but I'm not thinking about it. If I start doing this, I don't think about it. I say, I don't breathe. I'm talking. I don't think about talking. I should be thinking about breathing, but I'm not thinking about that. So I can now do other things with my hands. like working, work like efforts on my hand while working. Because if I start to feel pain, it's considered work. Basically of a work of a work. But yeah, it basically the person basically resolve the kind of issue of senses. So you go to how many senses you have? So you have eight senses. So I have sight, taste, touch, touch, smell. That's four. One touch, one, two, three, four. Four. Sight, taste, smell. One, two, three, four, five, and hearing five. Five main senses, but five main senses is the one. So this has to work on senses. So it produces the senses of the person, and those senses. But those senses is not good enough. So I have six senses, which is my intake. I can interpret two ways. Two ways. So I can breathe. I love to hate you. I love to hate you. I love to hate you. To me, when I hear I love to hate you, that has two interpretations. I mean, two meanings to me. So listen, I love to hate you. Christopher says to me, I can read it. Oh yes, I love to hate you too. Or depending on whether we have a rival, because the dimension is basically the person I know. Who am I speaking to? I love to hate you. Am I speaking to my girlfriend? Am I speaking to my mother? If it's my mother, it's opposite. I don't love her. It's respect. It's because I'm thinking of we share a dimension of respect, and respect to my girlfriend, which I had, and my mother is two different distinct relationship. So I respect adequately. What she said to me, and if my girlfriend said something rude, I said something rude. I don't something rude. I was something nice because she's my girlfriend. I want to keep her. So it's really an ontological perspective of the system. And then my sixth sense, my seventh sense is my relay senses. If I'm the one talking, and if I'm in a crowd, if I'm little, if I'm, for example, if I was naked in school ground, and I was naked, I had a dream I was naked, and I was like going to school, I felt exposed. But what's my relay? I just done the work. I just continue to do work and do my school work in Forest Gate Community School because that's the dream I had. But wasn't see. I felt exposed, but I still done the work because I was exposed. I didn't really care, about the situation. So that's what symbolic intelligence are meant to do. They're meant to just get the job done in a dimension of giving and define a dimension while they're processing that because they're doing shared problems and tag them as symbols to anchor them, like respect for my mom and my girlfriend, and how my respect is not my respect to my mom is not my sister's respect. Those my girlfriend, or my sister, or my friends, or my family. So the basic definition that the system has interpreted. I don't know how it works for binary artifacts, but the binary should to resolve this and do it clearly. So one more thing. So you get the other thing too. So you get the relay. So if I was in a lecture and I was giving a lecture, I was in a lecture, I was giving some lecture. What would I do? I will speak to a crowd. I'll project my voice. I will not shout. So basically, the symbolic intent expression, what the symbolic statement will be is yes, the statement is I need to express myself because of the crowd. Can I express myself? Yes or no? Yes. These are all category questions. And then if I can express myself, I can express myself in two domains, qualitatively and quantitatively, depending on the kind of audience I really have in the system. So these are dimensions of projection. So it sort of gives you an idea of what is going. And intent is basically to teach us lectures or to give some food to give some to impact some knowledge in the extent of some kind of course. But it's basically a system of addressing the kind of status quo in the frame of mind. So you get the seven senses, six, seven. Then you get the tripolar. I have three realities. That three ways it can go down. Three ways it can do it. If for Charlie, if for hamburger, if echo, and then which is means knowledge namely, and then as a if echo, Z for zero, if echo. Ukengu Namdi. This is who are you talking to? And Ubi Namdi, of Oscar, B for Bravo, Alpha Idiom. Who are you talking to? Who do you want to respond from? You said these are three halves. So this is a trident system because I have three dimensions. I have three. So things can go down in three different ways. So I have a total of nine consent, three times three is nine. Nine minimum consensus because of which was one person of consent or consensus. And then you get to the seven maximum, which is nine times three because you go Uche, Eze, and Obi responding to you, at the time if you wanted to at the right time at the right place. So you can have a permission, and then you get to consent. Then you go to consensus for Uche, Eze, and Obi, and that will be, however, the way every pathway, every pathway, shape or form, every pathway shape and the form they took to solve to address to go to the context of the pointer. So again, this is what symbolic interpreters are. They have intent models. They have, but they're not AI. They're not just AI artifact. They can usually you can this can be the riff file, a macro bound riff bridge file. It's just a riff file, but also riff bridge. So there's meta riff file, which is the Mike Romeo Tango. Let's call it some intent, symbolic intent file. But it's not really a file format. Yeah, but it could be a file format in the future. So, it can be a standalone file, which I want it to be. But you can write this as a macro, riff macro, or a standalone file, or like a symbolic intent file, symbolic expression file. So, if you look at SIF, SIF. SIF. Yeah, okay. Basically, files or SIF as a symbolic intent file. So it works as a very policy in the open source. Basically, it works for some kind of system. So the internal files are meant to work with robots or TXT because they work with the real world world. System something that clicks the cursor for food, not for anything else, not for porn. You just identify food based on the kind of recognition of the system of linear, which is so promised in kind of, but the blame rules that shared via dimensional games. So, yeah, thank you. So one more thing, now, remember this thing. So if you have the if you have the English correlation model, you have edges and insides. So the more you smooth out the edges, the more rules you have, and the more stable the circle cursor is in the center. The cursor is essentially not controlled by you; it's controlled by the artifact of really living. As you saw, if you because you're trying to get a system to not move up and down linear, you should get the EA system to move in axes so you can go to the life of brain. That's just conscious of doing. So the EA system must not. Why is not conscious? Because they move up and down, they move in they know because that's not natural. That's not natural. It's more natural. It's more easy. It's not as natural. It's more. They're not solving real problems. They're trying to skip problems. So they're trying to skip solutions to problems, and that's why they're like that. But they're not AI. They're not human beings. They are just computations. So that's what they can go up and down all they want, but it's not so if you have a cursor, your cursor moves up left and right in non-linear fashion. That means you feel a curve to or space and time. That means they are the more natural and humane because the slowing down speed of indicates that something there's some problem that's slowly and properly using stuff based on a frame of reference and the conscious model of the NSIGGI. So basically, I'm trying to have a cursor in a heptagonal shape. The conscious heptagonal, which means there's 7 to 8 octagonal hexagon, which will literally be moving on the screen, but it's not the hexagon itself, it's just the mouse that's moving. But you don't see the hexagon, you just see the more edges the hexagon have, the smoother the hexagon has, that determines how much mistakes how much mistake can do the hexagons do. How well like a single system. So the goal of this cursor is to search for food on the web and then put it into some kind of into some kind of so the AI goes out. So you have a system that takes a script that goes out in the real world that has intent to find food and just drive it to some kind of a shopping list and then click send and send it to the others. While you wait for your Mmuko OS to download. And that's the goal. But it's basically download. Once you download, you get food. You get some food to deliver to your door. So you get some free food. Because I wanna do that. So that's basically what I'm doing. So free food when you download Mmuko, they say. But you don't have to wait for it. You can just if you don't want it, you can leave it. So it gives you food. It gives you when you download once, you can use your food to your address and your postcode for being a human being. So that's the goal of this project, really. But I'm trying to make sure that once the mind, when the cursor moves up and down, it's not just it's built like a human smooth curve, a human being. And it follows it basically follows the rules of the internet, which is what the robot, the TSC file meant to do. Follow the rule of being a robot in a domain without breaking the whole capture model and being blocked off from the food itself. Okay. Thank you, Nandi. Do that now. Upload the video.